More faith in LeBron or Kawhi?
I think both great players, exceptional talent, both proven guys. I think it boils down to faith in the supporting cast, and I think the Lakers' injuries have affected them. Obviously, the huge setback of Avery Bradley deciding not to participate, rightfully so in his own mind, and wish him nothing but the very best. But his presence on the defensive end will be missing. So I think it's more pressure on the supporting cast than either one of those guys. Those guys will be just fine.
Mark Jackson, always good to see you, my brother, but I am shocked at the words oozing out of your mouth, considering the fact that you were an illustrious point guard, you believed in facilitation, and considering the season that LeBron James is having. As a facilitator, I thought that would usurp anything that Kawhi Leonard or anybody else could do for that matter. Could you explain what is it about LeBron and his ability to facilitate? How come that can't overcome some of the things you pointed out?
Well, he's done an incredible job. The question is, what happens when LeBron James takes a break? Who initiates the offense or becomes that facilitator in his absence? If Kawhi Leonard takes a breather, Paul George is more than capable of carrying the offense and doing Kawhi Leonard type things. I think the absence also of Rajon Rondo, his presence of initiating offense, running the offense, pushing the tempo, making plays for guys out of pick and roll, also being that extension of the coach on the floor. That's going to be huge. So it's nothing against LeBron James at all. It's more so about the supporting cast and who has the ability to elevate their game and make up for when the great ones are not on the floor.
Coach, Stephen A. just unveiled his Stephen A's list about the player with the most pressure on them in the restart. And coming in at number 1 is James Harden. Agree? If so, why? Disagree? If so, who?
I agree that there's some pressure. There's a lot of pressure on James Harden, but he's an all-time great. Not just scorer, but player. What he does on a nightly basis, we take for granted as fans of the game. It is absolutely incredible watching him night in and night out. A special talent that should be acknowledged. I did watch the segment, and I thought Jay Williams made an outstanding point. There's going to be pressure on Anthony Davis, and the reason why is because the same things that he documented in talking about it. Now he has a legitimate superstar playing alongside of him. So it's pressure on him to be that great player that he obviously is, night in and night out, and at times carry the load. But there's going to be pressure on all of those guys. So I have no disagreement throughout the list. But I think Anthony Davis is a guy that they expect a championship with the Lakers, and rightfully so.
If you're the Lakers as the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, what's the team you do not want to face in the first round, Mark Jackson?
Well, a healthy Portland Trailblazers team. I think, we've watched the Trailblazers struggle somewhat this year, but injuries played a huge part. They had some key guys not participate throughout the course of the season. And now all of a sudden they're healthy and whole. If that team gets to the 8th seed, then you're talking about having to defend Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and the supporting cast that they have with versatile bigs and tremendous depth all of a sudden, and proven guys that's not afraid of the brightest lights and that's willing to take the challenge of playing against a LeBron James-led Los Angeles Lakers team. Not that they would beat them, but it'd be a fascinating series to watch.
Mark, let me ask you this. I was watching Countdown over the weekend, and it was Jay Williams, Jalen, and Paul Pierce, and they were asked about who should be the new head coach of the Knicks, and it was no slight at Tom Thibodeau, but they all were in support of you. The news just came down that they officially hired Tibbs. What do you make of that coach? What do you make of that fit with this young team that's been trying to get it together for so many years?
Well, first of all, those guys got tremendous taste. I appreciate the love. But I will say this. Tom Thibodeau is a brilliant basketball mind that I've been around for quite a long time. When he was an assistant with Jeff Van Gundy with the Knicks, also when he was assistant with Jeff Van Gundy with the Houston Rockets. He's a guy that eats, sleeps, and drinks basketball. He will establish a culture of hard work, discipline, defensive mentality, and he'll have those guys hopefully with the ability to turn it around. Great hire for the Knicks. I wish them nothing but the very best. And Tibbs is a quality, big-time coach that instills tremendous things that gives you a chance to win every single night.
Do you think he's going to have to learn anything from his previous experiences and change anything he does in order to be the long-term coach? I don't doubt he'll get him to play hard and get him to a more respectable level. But to keep that job long-term once you get him there, does he have to make any adjustments in terms of the way he does things, do you think, Coach?
I believe so. And I believe that Tom Thibodeau will tell you just that. He's too bright of a basketball mind that he understands that some of the chirping, even though some of it may not be true, there's some truth to some of the things. So at the end of the day, you live, you learn, and you make the proper adjustments to put yourself in better position to win today. But he's a proven guy, and he's going to be just fine.
I want to know about you, Mark Jackson, only from this perspective. You obviously do an outstanding job for us, but universally, everybody recognizes the fact that when we think about head coaches in the National Basketball Association, damn it, you should be one of them. The Knicks have now decided to go in the direction of Tom Thibodeau. No shame there. He's won 59% of his games. We don't know what the Brooklyn Nets are going to do. I'm wondering, what are your thoughts about your future as an NBA coach? Do you think about it at all, and how do you feel about it?
Well, I think, obviously, coaching the Golden State Warriors for 3 years, I had the time of my life. Incredible developing relationships that last a lifetime. We turned things around and had tremendous success. It was a time that I was really enjoying. And I look forward, quite honestly, to the next opportunity of me being a head coach in this league once again. I really am excited about the opportunity of having a chance to lead another franchise and either turn things around or put things, keep them on the same track and give us a chance to win it all. I look forward to that day, but I'm not a guy that's going to, go crazy waiting for an opportunity. I look forward to that day. I'm going to prepare for that day. And until that day comes, I'm going to continue to work with guys that I consider family and having the time of my life calling games and once again getting the opportunity to call an NBA Finals.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.